Hey everybody, welcome to season 2 of Keeping It Real with Rob, the Green Level Athletics podcast. I'm your host, Rob Connett, and our first guest for this fall sports season is the head coach for Green Level men's soccer. His name is Deniz Solakoglu. That's how you pronounce it. I'm sure there are a lot of people that always see it and they're like, how do you pronounce that? Solakoglu. It's a fun one to say.
I appreciate it. Good to be here, Rob. Thank you for having me. But that's absolutely correct, and glad to be here. And we really appreciate everything you do for us here at Green Level.
Yeah, we're having a fun time with this. I'm glad we're doing another season of these podcasts and getting to know the coaches and players a little more. And that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to kind of get some background info and get to know you a little better. So let's start out with the fact that before you were coaching Green Level Soccer, before all of that, you're a soccer player yourself. Let everyone know where you went to high school.
I'm a graduate of Apex High School, and also, grew up in the area, Cary Elementary, East Cary, Apex High, NC State, so local to the area, have been here a long time. And every time I go somewhere and I come back, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. This is a great place to be.
Do you remember during your childhood or the first time where you're like, soccer, I think I'm going to do that?
Yeah, it's in our family. It's just in us. My father played. He grew up with the sport, and we're big fans of the game. We love to play, love to be involved. And so as you get older, you continue to find different ways to be involved outside of just being a fan. And so fortunate for me, having the opportunity now to coach in my hometown and teach at such a tremendous school, it's nothing but a true honor. Yeah.
You mentioned your family. You guys are Turkish, is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, my parents are from Istanbul, Turkey, and like a lot of families, looking for opportunity, and what better place than here in the United States. Fortunately, made our way here to North Carolina. So, wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Are there any similarities between Turkey and the United States, or how about maybe some of the big differences between the countries?
Absolutely. I think there are a lot of similarities. By and large, I think people are looking for the same thing all over the world. A good place to raise their family, have a nice sense of community. Food is a very central part of the culture there. I've been a number of times myself. And people love to laugh. They love to live. They love to enjoy. They love their soccer teams over there. And so I think by and large, we're all kind of going for the same things. And education is one of them. So being a part of that is very important to me. I can see it over there. I can see it over here. And tons of similarities. Absolutely.
I was told to ask you about your addiction to coffee.
I don't know if that's all that true. If you just go by the absolute number in which I'm drinking coffee, but 2 or 3 cups a day, I think it's somewhere in and around there. And interestingly, I think if there is a neat, maybe trivial question in there somewhere, is that it helps me get going, but I can have a cup of coffee right before bed and I will sleep like a rock. It's not a problem. The soccer games will keep me up, but the coffee won't.
That's how immune you are to coffee.
Yeah.
What you have is you can have one right before the bed and no effect whatsoever. You can still go to sleep.
Yeah, no problem on the way down.
Is there a certain way you like your coffee? I know some people are like black, straight. Some people are like, please give me all the creamer and sugar that you can put in. Like, how do you do your coffee?
Well, because you mentioned my heritage, Turkish coffee is a famous kind of coffee. It's incredibly strong but delicious, and you drink it in a small cup. And I prepare that every now and then for myself, not as well as my mom does, but here, I'll just run up to Food Line and grab some Green Mountain or something, and I'm good to go. So I'm easy when it comes to that. Fortunately, I've eliminated the sugar, so that's one thing I've really worked towards. It took about a good year and a half to 2 years to get used to drinking black coffee. That's that's not an easy feat when you're used to Splenda and cream and all that other stuff. That's not so great for us.
So what are your thoughts, or what do you think when you see all these kids that are like, I gotta go get my Starbucks?
It's yeah. Well, things have changed so much. Things have changed so much. They've broadened their horizons with everything. Things they eat, things they drink. They know about sushi. I didn't know about sushi till way later in life. And so things have changed, and I guess it just kind of falls in line with everything else that they're doing these days.
Along with your background and obviously your love for soccer and coaching, I want to make sure I get this right. Do you have like a financial Wall Street investor type of background? Is that right?
Rob, I spent 17 years prior to going into education working for primarily for banks. The majority of that time was at BB&T, which is now Truist. And yes, I worked as an equity trader, and I worked as a investment analyst, and then even joined the portfolio management team where we would manage, our in-house mutual funds for those that might be investing in it for retirement or other needs. So that's definitely my background. And so going from being able to do something and now being able to teach that something, also very satisfying for me. I was not so aware of all the possibilities in being able to get into education. So they call that lateral entry, by way of lateral entry. And the program over there at NC State is a great one for it, among others in the state. That's what has allowed me to kind of transition back into where my primary love is, which is education, school. Always enjoyed being in school, and of course on the soccer field.
All right, so let's talk about the soccer team. As we are recording this on a Thursday, we played last night and got an overtime win. What's up with all the overtime games that we've had this season for Green Level?
Oh boy, Rob, I don't know, but I think it's for good reason. We have gone down in, I believe, two of those games, and we're having to battle back. So if battling back affords us extra time to then have an opportunity to win the game, tie the game, whatever it might be, we welcome that. And I think, interestingly, here in those three overtime matches, it's building a different component for our team. It's building a sense of resiliency and a sense of understanding that we can be down one goal, two goals, as we were to Holly Springs, and the match is not over. The match is not over until the final whistle. And sometimes it's easier said than done. But now that we are doing it, the belief is there. And, we don't want to look too far down the road. But if we consider what playoffs could look like in a state like ours, you got to be ready. And I think being ready, the experience of that will help us be ready. Talking about it is one thing, enduring it and experiencing it is another. So it's not like we're wanting to play overtime, but because we have, it's something that we can feel good about going forward.
And I think playing in the SWAC has something to do with it as well. Man, the SWAC, when it comes to soccer, probably one of the toughest conferences in the state.
Without question, Rob. I know many of our other sports are able to say that as well, but this area in our state is so soccer rich. And for example, someone could have looked at Green Hope's record playing paper football. It's incredibly dangerous. We know the true story. We know their quality. We know how good they are. We know, and like the other teams in the conference, it only takes a couple injuries, couple of illnesses to change the complexion or the outcome of a game. So we want to be very humble but hungry, and we kind of have a motto here where we just have a one game season, and if we look anything beyond that, then we're asking for trouble. So we really want to focus on just the next opponent and put all of our emotion, our physical energy, our mental energy in just the next game, because anything beyond that could be danger.
Talk about some of the players. I know we have a lot of upperclassmen, a lot of senior leadership this year with your squad. Have there been any players? I'll give you an opportunity to name drop, but anyone that has been impressive, either with their senior leadership or maybe an underclassman or a junior that has really stepped up this year?
Absolutely. I first would like to say that, as a coach, a great luxury would be to, hey, how is it that I cannot get in the way of the talent we have? And we have the talent. And a lot of those talented players, starting from the defense going forward, for example, our goalkeeper core is tremendous. We have three very good goalkeepers, any one of which can play any night and, execute at a very high level. In terms of the midfield, also very talented there. Ellis Garver is a captain, a senior captain. Sean O'Dowd is very talented midfielder. Maxwell Shell. I mean, the list goes on and on. We have great wings and great players in the mix. And so on any given night, I don't know if you've had an opportunity to see where our stats are coming from in terms of goals and assists, but they're coming from everywhere. And that's another thing we're excited about, is that we're not so reliant on any 1, 2, 3, or 4 individuals. At any moment, any one of our players can catch fire. Last night, Emerson Castellanos goes in the game and finds a beautiful header off the corner kick. I think it was a corner, if I'm remembering that correctly. Sometimes my memory gets a little murky, but at that moment, and prior to that, Landon Ung has a few good games in which he strung a couple goals together. So, and those guys are juniors. So I mentioned a lot of names, but I do so on purpose because it really does speak to the depth and the breadth of our team. And that's also very exciting, very exciting.
I know you said that you are a one game at a time type of coach, but looking at the rest of this conference schedule, are there a couple of matches that you're circling and your guys are like, oh, we are ready for this one?
Well, it must be Monday night against Middle Creek. They're very talented. They're really good. They're tough. We're on the road. So to look beyond that, it would be, it wouldn't be prudent. We don't want to do that. And we view all of the teams in the SWAC as a rival to the highest degree. And we have to, because if we start changing our mentality or our approach, then we're asking for trouble. And I don't know if you saw the standings, but it only took 2 games, basically 2 games, for every team to endure a loss. We haven't yet. We've taken 2 ties. But, there's going to be a lot of commotion here. There's one more week in which we complete the first round of matches, and then we take the turn and go from there. So at any moment, anything can happen in terms of standings within the SWAC.
Looking forward to the second half of the conference schedule and seeing what we can do. And before you know it, it's going to be postseason time. I feel like this fall sports season is flying by.
Yes, likewise. It's unbelievable. September 21st today. And this time next month, we will definitely be thinking about the playoff picture. I'm sure we'll be seeing projections out there and all that other exciting stuff, but we're going to just try to keep it in the middle.
All right, it's now time for a segment on the show. We always like to end every show with something called Investigator. First question is your go-to meal before a game.
A sub.
A sub. What kind?
Lately, I've been going veggie. Because over the years here coaching, I've experienced a kind of a spooky scenario where if I order some of the things I normally would and it's not as fresh as I would like, it gets a little funny. So I just go veggie these days.
Keeping it safe. Don't want any interruptions.
Exactly.
All right. Your favorite band?
Oh, I love rock music. To get pumped up, it wouldn't be uncommon for me to put in a little Metallica and get my energy going that way.
Nice. All right. Your favorite birthday gift of all time?
Oh boy, I actually do not like having things. So it would definitely be probably probably be something along the lines of an experience of sorts. Probably a nice dinner somewhere. That's definitely something I would favor over getting something physical.
Your first car, what was it?
Oh, I was just telling someone yesterday it was a Mitsubishi Mirage.
Whoa. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And what do you drive now?
I have a Volkswagen Tiguan. It's a SUV.
All
Carry all those soccer balls in the back.
right. We have the soccer mom van. We have the soccer coach SUV. That's
Yeah, I needed more real estate. I had a smaller car before, but I needed more real estate, and now it's good. It's been good.
Here you go. Coach Deniz Solakoglu from the Green Level men's soccer team. Thank you so much for joining us here on Keeping It Real with Rob.
Rob, thank you so much. Appreciate all you do for Green Level and all sports in our community. Thank you so much.